Okay, what's up everyone, and hello Linus, and my name is Eden, and today I will show you environmental and anthropogenic factor affecting nesting site selection by sea turtles. And here is my introduction, and our main purpose is to understand how environmental and anthropogenic factor and how they will affect nesting site selection by sea turtle, because it is the key to maintaining priority conservation areas. And environmental characteristics affect the nesting process and reproductive success of sea turtles. And main characteristic is abiotic condition and biotic condition and anthropogenic condition. And abiotic condition means temperature is used to predict when the nesting season will occur. So the temperature is like a trigger, and it will decide when the nesting season will occur. And turtle usually nest on the beach with similar environmental characteristics. But it is not clear which set of physical factors can limit the female selection of nesting site. In biotic condition, interspecies relationship can contribute to the choice of nesting site and hatching success. The number of nesting positivity is associated with % of sentient vegetation and negative associated with predation. And anthropogenic condition is change in the environmental condition in these places might affect the behavior of females and the reproductive success of nesting. And this change may be associated with urban development as well as intensification of tourism and where turtles nest. And the main anthropogenic influencing factors are artificial light, predations, and change in the topographic pattern of beaches. And this is my material and method. And our study area is the island of Comendatuba in the northeast of Brazil. And its feature has 21 kilometers of dissipative beach. And in the south central portion of island, there is a marine reserve. And this is where Comendatuba located, and this is what it looks like. It looks like a paradise. And this is the species we studied here. And we have Pacific Ridley sea turtle, and longjaw sea turtle, and hawksbill sea turtle. And temperature and spatial distribution. The temperature and spatial distribution of nesting was recorded using the cranial density estimation, as known as KDE. And KDE was calculated from number of total and predated nesting points per square kilometer. And to quantify variable, it was necessary to delimit the sample area, or otherwise the information will be too big. And we're using 3 categories for better interpretation of the interpolation result, and we got high, and medium, and low. And data sampling occur in 6 area, and that 6 area we will mention on next page. And transects of 1 kilometer were selected to analyze. And each transect will classify according to the monitoring condition. We got success, predation, loss due to tide, buried by dune, loss due to human consumption, and egg not found. And this is the 6 area I mentioned in this page. And in area F and area A, we know this is a low density of nesting. And area E and area B is high density of nesting. And area D and area C is medium density of nesting. And environmental variable, we have sediment grain size and beach slope and type of dune and vegetation richness. Sediment grain size we determine using granulometric analysis based on Wentworth sediment grain scale. And a centimeter was used to measure the beach slope. The slope angle of each sample point and an average per area were also recorded. And type of dune, the dune we will classify as smooth or step based on height and angle. And smooth correspond to sandbank less than 50 centimeter high and slope angle of up to 75 degree. And step correspond to sandbank more than 50 centimeter high and slope angle of over 75 degree. And vegetation richness was determined according to presence and absence with an area of 10 square meter. Subsequently, by the main estimated richness in our area using the rarefaction method. And here's our result. And the x-axis is months and the y-axis is nesting number of nested. And here we can see the nesting season will occur in among April to September, and the most number of nesting is between November to January. And this is five maps of distribution of where sea turtle will lay their eggs in the beach. And as you can see, in season 2011 and 2012, 2014 to 2018, and there is extreme increase of nesting, it from 47 to 83, in the south of island. And in 2008 to 2015, total nest we found is 420, and predated nest is 175, and a annual average of predated nest is 90.2. And the season in 2017 to 2018, we have 71 nest sites, and predated nest is 19. So we can see, and every year we found predated nest is around 19. And here we have 156 monitor nests. And as you can see, there is only 43 successful in hatching. And most of them is well predated. So poor. And the most hatch success area is in area B and area E. And most predated area is in area C, area D, and area E. And area A and F, we classify as low density, different significance from the other area in relation of variable beach is beach slope. And area C and area D classify as medium density, different significance from the other area in relation variable is answer position. And here's our discussion. And the increase in the south of the island may be caused by several factors. And the beach format has suffered modification over the year, such as an increase in southern tip and a reduction in northern tip. This is greater deposition of sediment provides more space for nesting. And the characteristics that most affect the occurrence were anthropogenic and slope of beach. And human activity such as tourism and settlement can reduce the number of nests. And very flat beach influence lower nesting density. And human impact is associated with nest predation, as domestic dogs, just like your pet dogs or something, are the main predator of turtle nest on the island. So we record high predation of domestic dog even in area C. And medium beach slope is important at the time of nesting, since the sand must be flat enough for the female to walk and reach the sandbank to nest. And beach slope is also necessary to protect the nest from the tide. And this is our conclusion: is the island has more homogeneous dynamic for this characteristic, which can be related to the size of the island, the time of the formation, or sea current. And the result present here can support conservation strategy for the marginal nesting site of sea turtles. Area with human impact should be more closely monitored during the high reproductive season, which is a well-established period. And thanks for your listening.
Could you explain page 25 graph? So I don't know what does that mean.
Okay.
Repeat his question.
He want to know page 25, what is that mean? Page 25, can I stand in? Yeah, and this is our beach, and this icon is which event happened in the beach. So we can see, we can see that is success icon in here. So we count them, and hatching success. Most hatching success area is area B and area E because it has so many success icon. Okay.
Could you back to 13?
13.
In high or medium and low, what you calculate this kilometer and unit?
And we use.
What's her question?
And how do we get a? Excuse me.
And in your high, medium, and low,
Yes.
what are you calculate this unit and kilometer?
How we calculate this unit and kilometer? We use the technique of KDE, and we will count how many units of nesting in per square kilometer.
Can you go back to page 10?
Page 10.
I want to know what is dissipative beach.
Dissipative means the beach is how to say 延展 in English.
It's extending.
Yeah, it is extending to 21 kilometer. Okay.
How do you know predated nests were attacked by domestic animals?
Sorry.
Repeat.
How do you know predated nests were attacked by domestic animals?
Repeat her
How
question.
do we know predicted of the nest from most animal? And I have mentioned and most predator of nest is your most predator of the nest is our domestic dogs as your pet dog.
How to define the amount of turtle nest?
How to define the amount of turtle man, and the study didn't mention this. I think it is used by you looking for somewhere in beach and you find, oh, that is a turtle nest.
You just list three species of turtle, sea turtle, and can we figure out what's the relation about the nest and this kind of three species?
What is relation between these three kind of species in this island? Because these three kind of relation, these three kind of species will come to this island and lay their egg annually. So we use these three kind of species to study.
Can we use? Is there any result about the three turtles and the nets?
The study didn't mention it. It just mentioned we use that kind of species.
Page 26. I want to know the slope degrees. What is 5 th and 7 and 8?
What is slope and about 5th and 7th, and it's just right in this table, so I have no idea.
Overall, I also think Alan gave a good talk. He had a purpose slides, although I have to point out that when you put the purpose slide at the beginning of your talk, I tend to forget what's the purpose.
Okay.
I always prefer that you put it after your introduction. Otherwise, it's so easy to forget your purpose.
Okay.
And then, unfortunately, your conclusion slide is again too general. So, how do I tell a conclusion is general or not? For example, if you think this is a little bit like common sense, I don't even need to read the paper and I know the conclusion, then it's not specific. It's not a good conclusion. So you say, homogeneous dynamics of these characteristics, which can be related to the size of the island, the time of the formation, and sea currents. Well, it's probably not that common sense, but actually I don't see what's this conclusion related to turtle nests. So it's not really connected to the main point of this study. So that's something you can always ask yourself. And then here, for example, in your introduction and in your conclusion, I saw that actually this is easy to read, and I like the way you put it. However, because in some of your slides, you have multiple bullets, for example, this one, then I at some point I start to get tired. So I think you can help me and probably many others by giving us some colored keywords. So I know where the key point is, and I just need to look at the key points. It's for lazy listener like me, all right? And then it's better to explain some terms which you think might be difficult, like some of the audience ask, what if you really want to use that term? For example, when you talk about the dissipative beach, you don't need to use the words. It doesn't really affect your study. But if you want to use that term, then you explain it. Okay. And again, you did not explain the term predated. I know many of these audience might think predated nest means nest that has been destroyed by other animals. But for a chemist like me, I have other imagination. I was thought, okay, date means a date. So I have other imagination. So it's better to explain what predated nest means. And then at some point, you talk about the 3 categories, high, low, median, and you show the unit, which is units per square kilometer. And at that point, I was thinking, units of what? So it's better to say, maybe if the number is 20 units per square kilometer, it's better to say 20 nests or 20 nesting per square kilometer. Otherwise, I get confused. Then there's a pronunciation issue. You talk about if a slope is gentle, or you say step. Step means I walk up a step. That means step. So steep. Okay. Then go to your results. You have these. I think I know this is the original figure in the paper. And if the text is so small, for example, I would prefer that you type the text again yourself, like you say it's month. You don't need to type this January, February things, but you can type month, and what's that? Nest. You see, it's so small, I can't see it at the back row. So it's something you can add something yourself to make it more readable. And then I would like to point out that this is probably the first self-made figure I saw in your class. So he made this himself. It's easier to read, and it has been seen more common in other classes in previous years, but it's the first one I saw in your class. So I would like to point that out. I think you made it by Excel, right? So easy. Everybody can do that. And while I'm very happy to see that, then next I start to see, I really have no idea. It's poorly presented, this one. So if I were you, I will first say this is actually a map. This is different coordinates. And then if your key focus is to want to say hatching success, you know, I cannot distinguish all these symbols. It's impossible to distinguish them. So it's better that if you want to focus on success, you add something yourself, like make it red dots. Then it's easier to see where the hatching success is. All right, and then, well, I'm still not that, I'm still quite happy with the self-made figure. Then I saw this copied table. And then apparently you haven't figured out what this means. I hope next time you can do that. All right, if that means 2 seconds means the steepest or 2 degrees, which one? Tell us next time. And do not use table like this. It's not a big table. You can type yourself. I'm almost done. Discussion 29. This is related to your copied table. You talk about this influence of environmental factors like human activities or beach slopes, but its connection to data is not clear. Probably because this slide is not well presented. This slide is so small that it's impossible to read the number at the back row. So you should do it, type the table yourself. All right, that's all. Thank you, Alan.